So, last session you navigated through the eerie stillness and mysterious figures of the labyrinthine swamp. You fiercely battled a pair of swamp trolls. Well, not last session, session before. But you also witnessed, after roundly defeating these swamp trolls, some of these spectral figures of souls drifting towards the temple structure at the heart of the Tanzin swamplands. And upon arrival, you observed attendants of the dead performing solemn duties with funerary boats, a sacred place here at the necropolis where the dead are honoured. Your path took you through the bustling docks of the necropolis, showcasing the efforts of workers, beasts of burden, and the trade of goods vital to the temple's operations. You descended downward through the great tunnels of the necropolis, showcasing the efforts of discovering that this place wasn't just a singular temple, but rather the entrance to a vast underground capital of the Kingdom of Banzala. This is one of the three constituent kingdoms of the wider dynasty. You then sought rest at a place called the Gilded Bones Inn, managed by a skeletal figure known as Taztik, seemingly an old friend of Talali's. After settling in, you decided to explore the artisan's quarter and the floating bazaar for supplies and information. It was during your explorations you encountered various merchants and craftsmen, purchasing items and seeking rare materials such as sun metal. You then met back up with Talali, who brought you to the summit of the Banzalan temple that dominates the city temple district. There you met with the head of the Banzalan priesthood, Death Speaker Tuani, or as most people call her, Grandma. And she seems to have this sort of deep familial history with Talali herself. Eventually, you were led down into the heart of the necropolis' temple by Grandma Tuani to stand before the throne of Banzala himself. There, you witnessed Talali transform, taking on the visage and power of Banzala, the ferryman of souls, in a striking display of divine presence. This revealed Talali as an avatar of Banzala, a chosen mortal intermediary between the living gods and the mortal world. And now you stand before the ferryman, prepared to plead your case and seek his guidance. Give me a second here. I'm going to up the game. Up the gain, rather. So a bit louder. Let's see here.
Yeah, not seeing anything on the Sirenscape. I'm definitely connected.
Yep.
Yeah, it's weird. It was silent, like, suspense is killing me.
It's silent forever.
No, that's forever box.
I mean, it's apt for where we are, but
Oh, that's why
the silence of the grave does not make
I've
for
got
good background
everything
music.
popped out instead of in the game.
Yeah, still, forever. The forever box. No, 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 no.
We have entered the bone zone.
There we go.
There we go. Spooky whistling.
There we are.
Yeah, the fact that I witnessed that. Atlas, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, Banzala kind of opens up his arms wide. As a voice, excuse me,
As a voice coughs through the
don't swallow your spit, guys.
Swallowing is fine.
Wise
Breathing in is...
words from the god of death.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone knows about how people die,
Like, you have no idea how many people I've got choking on their own spit.
like Everyone inhales it for some reason.
The fuck?
So, his voice reverberates through the chamber.
So, the bold adventurers come wandering to the lands of Tanzia, seeking the ferryman himself. Ain't every day me get visitors from far off lands. Consider me flattered.
He looks towards. He looks to you all. He looks to you all expectantly.
Out of character, we got a lot to sort of present, so what order do we want to do this in for the sake of ease of information? Because I know Angus has a couple of points of order. We got the party-wide goal of getting the tablet.
Let's start
Nick
with the
has
tablet.
bone problems.
Let's start with the tablet first, and then because it kind of coincides with Angus's thing,
Yeah.
so he could leap off
And then-
off of that.
Yeah, the tablet is the group goal, and from there I can present the skull,
Yeah, we can springboard
personal
into.
goal, and then we can go to.
Alright, sounds good.
Yeah.
Just to get my facts in order.
Turn Atlas and-
we- I know we did a commune with him a while back. Is he aware of the vague idea of what we want? Or are we gonna have to represent that?
I would just, on this air of caution, represent it.
Alright. Oh god, worst day to have a cough. Give me a second. Oh god, why am I dying suddenly?
Aha, the cough
That's
spreads.
Banzala!
Apt place for it.
If you die in the game, you die in real life.
That's how he got us. He got us, boys. Alright, well, Vellum will take the initiative. Gotta get my fucking throat into position for this shit. God, trying to do this while sick is gonna suck.
Firstly, we thank you for seeing us personally. We come for many reasons. The first of which is we understand that you have a crystal tablet in your possession, gained through a deal with another party.
You come to make a deal with old Banzala, have you?
Oh, I don't even need to roll an insight to know that's bad news.
Before we start, there is something you need to understand. Clear as day. Me deals, they're not like the bargains you make in the marketplace, merchant. No. There be something far more permanent.
He kind of begins to pace slowly, his tall, imposing figure casting long shadows that twist and writhe on the ground as he walks. He taps the head of his cane against the ground. This sound is sharp and rhythmic.
When you make a deal with me, you're binding yourself to the terms. No half measures. No backing out. You offer something, and we offer something in return. But once the pact be sealed, there be no turning back. You have to feel your end of the bargain or face the consequences. And trust me, you don't want to know what happens to those who break a deal with Banzala.
He clacks his cane against the ground. The shadows around it seem to twist and shape themselves into ghostly figures. Fleeting images of possibly souls that have made deals with him before. Some appear triumphant, others twisted in torment.
Now you understand the seriousness of what you're asking. Tell me, what weird about this tablet?
He crouches down and almost sort of squats on the ground.
What did he say? What's so about the tablet?
What's this
so
about the
important
tablets?
Well, we have need of it for our group goal. And we've been looking for it for some time.
I heard it called the key once. You got a taste for things, for big things, don't ya? Be no ordinary thing, no ordinary trinket. Doors, secrets, power. Paths to places even the boldest wouldn't fear to tread. And you know, it didn't just fall into my lap. You'd be correct. A certain someone, a soul trapped in his own web of schemes and regrets, handed it over and dared cast him more than he ever imagined. You see this key be tied to a
Very
packet.
excellent.
His eyes flare as he looks towards you. The nod of understanding.
And as he is, his saluting hand is already reaching for his bag as he presents two skulls. The skull of Braun and the ornate skull Braun presented to him. And they're just set and rest upon the ground. As he motions as he speaks the name, not wanting to interrupt, but merely acknowledge.
Aye. The key be tied to a pact. One forged in desperation. Steeped in the very essence of the soul who handed it over. No. I'm not keen on giving away something I claimed fair and square without good reason. So, you want this key? That might have something mighty valuable in offer. I don't deal in charity, man. Everything got its price. And this key, well, it's got a price tag that'll make her think twice. But I'm listening. What's on the table?
Sorry, what was that last part?
What's on the
I
table?
was coughing during it.
Mr. Fajir, I think it would be wise to be honest with our host, so he understands why a fair deal would benefit him greatly, and the magics of his people.
His eyes scan across all of you for a moment. You all feel this chill running through your spines. He's going to do this. Go ahead and make wisdom saving throws, please.
I don't have a thing to be able to click. Oh, that's you that has to click it. I can't click anything. Am I supposed to be able to?
You should the roll there.
There's no roll. It just says actors.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and roll
Oh, maybe a module didn't load for you.
that. Maybe.
Quite refreshing.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
just go ahead and refresh.
Shall I just go?
Technical difficulties.
Shall I just go ahead and roll that, or do you want to wait until you're back?
Go ahead and roll it while I'm loading.
Sure. Okay.
Just for good measure, I'm gonna Flash of Genius Angus's roll, so it goes above 15.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Just in case that's the DC.
The reason why I'm not doing
Yeah.
it on Gronka is because this is very much an Angus-focused thing, and I'd prefer he be, you know, not affected.
All right.
Okay.
You'll feel that kind of chill roiling through your spines. You feel something piercing deep within you. That's about it. I believe Vellum and Dejar have already made their rolls after the last session.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
I don't remember what the result was, but the mystery of finding out. So since, regardless of why Vellum isn't so clued into that specifically, he sort of continues on from Angus's statement.
I had no intention of any dishonesty. A deal's a deal, and it's best if it's fair. As for what's on the table, I'll admit I lack a certainty of what a god would want. Material wealth is for the mortal kind in most cases.
Kind of searches not in your eyes, but almost through you.
You see how your mind's wandering. Crafting, forgery, building something special. Maybe you're thinking I'd be interested in a shiny trinket or a weapon. Some kind of grand artifact. You could forge with your skill.
I had thought that on the way here, but
But maybe stop you right there then. We got no interest in trinkets, no matter how shiny, no matter how well crafted. You see, we deal in souls, power, knowledge. Things far beyond what any material object you can create. Often me gold, jewels, weapons, armor, but they just be things, temporary.
Kind of waves his hand dismissively.
Vellum tries to
Okay.
Vellum tries to keep his composure because he sort of clears his throat a little bit.
as I mentioned, I thought that. I knew you would not be interested in something so simple. So the only offer I can make with some certainty is that of service. Performing one for you. One that maybe you were not able to directly engage with yourself. Either in your realm or troublesome people trying to skirt around the laws of your domain. Things are fleeting, as you said, but, well, the principles of a god are, I'd like to think, important.
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check.
Man, I wish I hadn't spent my Icon of Fate shopping. It's great.
Can I aid him?
How are you aiding?
He's offering service, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Angus will chime in. Good Lord Ferryman, surely you know of the Draco Lich in the bog to the east. The one that steals souls and twists on death itself. We defeated her several times over. And we had the power to wrestle control of her undying self, so she may never return.
There's this flare in his eyes as you mention that. I'll say, given your fairly high passive insight right now with the tattoo around your eye,
27.
he knows exactly what and who you're talking about. And there's,
And with a sort of...
if you could see a skull grin even further.
He's going to look to the others, and once more, he's going to his bag of holding, and he's going to pull down the lip to begin to reveal the legendary soul stone.
Know what we got here?
I cannot offer to trade this. It is not fully mine to give. But what I can offer with this is proof as to give this service to you. I have bested one of your enemies, encroaching upon your borders. I could do it again. I could bring you the souls of the unjust for your punishment, those that may elude your hounds. We could do this for you. I will use all of my clerical and divine powers to seal it away.
And with...
Looks to Vellum.
Go ahead and
Yeah,
roll again,
and-
Vellum.
Hooray. Just sort of... while I get the fucking thing up. And with sort of a fluidity of, like, the dynamic that we have as a group, he effortlessly goes straight off of Angus' point.
As you see, we are very capable, and whatever task you set to us, difficult or not, we have a great chance of succeeding at.
So that is a 17.
Kind of taps his
Or-
chin.
Can we... Oh, is there anything that we can do? Yes, there is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you my inspiration.
Oh, you sure, man?
Yeah.
Alright, well, thank you. That's much
We-
appreciated. Good
And
for
with
everybody,
advantage.
but...
Now you get to roll again.
Now I get
with
to roll
advantage.
again with advantage. 23. Thank you kindly. That was inspiration well spent. Hell
Damn
yeah.
right it
teamwork.
was, brother.
I'll
for
make
the
sure to
fuck
get
of
you
it-
one back.
Just for the fuck of it, make that 37.
Oh, spicy.
Oh, another flash of genius.
Because I might as well use them. Plus,
Mm.
I push you over the 25 threshold, so...
Hell
There's
yeah.
never a time for
Fucking
it when
teamwork,
talking
baby.
to a god. Stop
Kind
putting
of-
in work today.
He taps his jawbone, the tip of his jawbone where his chin would normally be. You hear the hollow of his bony finger.
See the thing be that there is something I could use.
His the flare in his eyes kind of linger on that soul stone.
You see, souls like hers, They got a certain flavor. And you'll be keeping it all to yourself. How greedy are you?
He chuckles. The sound is deep and resonant, almost like it's coming from the entirety of the room. The shadows seem to deepen in response, like a tightening noose. And as he speaks, he seems to almost step into the shadow and disappear, only to reappear right behind Angus.
I've seen this kind of trick before.
Oh boy.
He kind of leans down to whisper in your ear. His voice is just dripping with dark amusement.
Aye, but don't worry, Angus, we're not angry. In fact, we're quite pleased. You see, you want Bron's sword, but it haven't. You're gonna need to offer me something in return, and this soul stone could be exactly what we've been looking for.
And without warning, Banzala snaps his fingers, and the shadows kind of surge forward to form this ghostly hand that cradles this life-sized projection of the soul stone. Not the soul stone itself, but an image of it. And it kind of hovers in front of him, pulsating with this malevolent dark energy that almost seems alive.
Can I roll an insight, Jader? I would like
Sure.
to insight a god.
You can try to insight a living god, yes.
So basically,
I love the keyword, try.
try. It's always trying. But yes, I'm essentially trying to get a sense of when he said the statement about Mordathak's soul being like exactly what he needs. He's trying to tempt us into a deal with that.
Yeah.
I want to glean if that's some kind of test or trick. Like maybe he's trying to goad us into it to see if our resolve is weak or some such thing.
An immediate sort of thing while you're doing that. A little wisdom saving throw against his own fear and determination. He closes up the bag of holding. As I said, as of now, it's not just mine to give. Willem, I'm sorry. I have to be honest. It holds the soul of a very evil woman who did terrible things. And we needed to talk to her for closure.
There's another flare in his eyes. Go ahead and make an insight
And
check.
to
Willem.
learn. And to learn of a threat we will face.
He sort of chimes in afterwards. Not to counteract what Angus said, but more to support his statement. 12!
Didn't
I
know
don't
that
think a
part.
12 is going to give me anything.
Banzala, the ferryman of souls, the living god of all things, trickery being among them, is very hard to read.
How can you read his poker face if he doesn't have one?
It's as you kind of catch his glance just over Angus.
You see, this stone holds more than just a dragon's soul, eh? It holds a piece of you too, Venom. The scars she left on your run deep, don't they?
Vellum reflexively twitches, like his jaw visibly twitches around where the scar is on his face.
Maybe there's a way we can. You're a master of souls, ferrying to them fro, controlling them, bringing justice. Maybe we could agree to part with it if you help us with something we've been struggling. Maybe you can help us reach her safely for him to answer his questions, find his peace, and for us to learn more about what we face ahead with the Awakened. And that bastard giant that broke from their tomb within your lands.
And the Jarl's gonna speak up following that. Not only that, but that damned giant, as Angus kindly put, has also been stealing souls in your lands as well. And I think he's been able, working with a name you probably know very well, Voldus.
Oh, we are playing dangerously with trying to get things from him.
As
It's
you speak the name Voldus, the air in the chamber grows thick with an almost tangible tension. His voice, usually kind of laced with that sort of darkly playful humour in a way, now just sort of drips with venom,
oh no!
and almost barely contains rage as he
Voldus.
The atmosphere in the room just shifts dramatically. Shadows lengthening and darkening as they are just drawn to the intensity of Banzala's anger. The temperature seems to drop, and for this fleeting moment, you can almost feel like the walls themselves are closing in, pressed in by the weight of this god's wrath.
You dare speak the name in my temple? Had you not shown the proper respect before this moment, you might find your tongue withering in your mouth.
Jarl looks at him. I say it for good reason. I've been hunting his like. And he goes into the bag. Well, no, he thinks about going to the bag, but then puts a hand to her chin. He's been, well, his lackeys has been around quite a lot. And another avatar I know, his name is, what's the kettle? I think his name?
Quetzal,
One of knowledge?
my
Quetzal,
brother.
yes. He knows of this as well. In fact, I work with him.
The betrayer's light, the awakened. The walking of dark path, no doubt about that. You see, they talk about liberation, about breaking from the cycle of life and death. What they really do is spit in the face of everything natural. It tears souls from where they're supposed to rest, chain them up in dead flesh, call it ascension. That ain't no true liberation. It's a mockery, a cruel joke.
As he speaks, he kind of waves his hand, and from the shadows, you can see grotesque forms beginning to materialize. Twisted undead figures, their faces frozen in these silent screams of torment.
And death, as they see it, be nothing but a cage. A trap that binds the spirits of this world. But they should be moving on. They put themselves out of my reach, you see. For the most part, they know how to clear their deeds from my eyes. Except where the eyes of my faithfuls wander. But worse still, they disrupt the balance, twisting the natural order for their own desires. They call it freedom. But all I see be a bunch of fools afraid to let go, holding on to life so tight. They they forget what it means to truly live or to die.
He steps forward, and as he does, the shadows shift, twist into the shape of a massive scale. One side weighed down by the grotesque forms of the undead, the other side empty, representing the imbalance they cause in this natural order he speaks of.
And if you ask me, the awakened, like the rest of Arnis and his types, they're running from something. Maybe it be the fear of the unknown. Maybe it's fear of facing judgment on the other side. But no matter what they call it, they've turned their back on everything that makes a soul worth saving. And for that, they've long earned my ire.
Through their actions in our journeys, they have made an enemy of us as well. In fact, we've been a thorn in their side for some time, making their plans fruitless and disrupting their machinations.
The shadows around the scale tighten, kind of squeezing the grotesque forms until they're crushed into nothingness. And the scale finally tips back to a semblance of balance.
In that aspect, we got a common enemy. There be something going on. Me feel it in my old bones. The fingers of my highest clerics and priests be feeling about trying to make sense of it all. Even if there be a shadow of their former selves. The awakened have always known how to sneak their ways into power.
And with a dismissive wave of his hand, the shadows and scales dissipate, leaving the chamber in its previous state.
Well, with that in mind, whether it from... Sorry, I'm going to start that over because I tried to cough midway and fucked up my sentence. With that in mind, where effort and time may not be enough to catch them, fate seems to make us cross their path. And that fateful intersection may be something of use to you. I did speak of a service we could perform after all.
I agree with Mr. Fajir. Regardless of the deal, I want to work with you. He'll take off a gauntleted glove and reveal that he wears a signet ring of Morthholm. In the bog to the east, we undid this Dracolich's temple. We undid her corruptive influence there. And in the names of my people, I seized control of it. And all the specters there rallied around in support. A grand army agreeing to undo her evil. And now, though empty of other than the souls that walk its hall in service to restore it to its greatness, it is a place I claim. To be a neighbor. To one I want to strive forward in cooperation. I believe in what you do. And I found nothing else that is so close to my own faith. I want to rid the world of this awakened. And I will help you without an ask for a price. That is me, personally. Because I agree with you. Though, for this, as he motions to the skull of Braun, for us, to connotate the tablet. I will gladly help for whatever task needs be done to be fair service for what we ask of you.
You don't
It's for
understand.
charity.
You'll be asking for something really special there. Ron made him choices, sealing his fate with me. Now you want to take that away. Very interesting.
As he speaks, he kind of waves a hand, and a spectral image, a representation of a bronze soul, seemingly, appears before you, kind of floating in the air like a growing, or a glowing, swirling orb. It sort of pulses with this deep, ominous light.
You see, Banzala be like a fine wine. It gets better with age, more complex, more flavorful.
He kind of gestures
It
towards
is
the...
poisoned. He boldly interrupts. It is poisoned by the whispers of the very sorcerer you will not let me speak the name of.
You don't
He
think I
holds out
don't
the
know
journal.
that child? That's why I'm
Was his
joining
own.
under my care. But, from what I see in your soul, you want to take on the burden of his repentance. To be his jailer might be a big responsibility. Not quite convinced you'll be up to the task, but we like the idea of watching you try.
With a flicker over his wrists, the image of Brun's soul kind of morphs into a heavy iron chain, which Banzala holds in his hand. He kind of lets it drop to the ground with this resounding heavy clang.
But perhaps we can come to an agreement. Banzala, be mine by right. And I'm not really letting you go without something even better in return. But you say you want to do me a service. And you,
His eyes kind of flare over towards Venom.
this multitask. She left a mark on you in more ways than one. The pain, the fear, it all be there, still festering like an old wound. Almost like both carry this soul stone around, not just to trap her, but to keep a part of yourself locked away too, fellow. Maybe I can help you confront her. Face that shadow in your past. You want to talk to her, don't you? Settle things once and for all. I can make that happen. I can draw her soul out, let you speak with her, reveal what she knows, while she be shackled to my chains. Let you confront what haunts you.
As he speaks, he reaches out to the shadows, pulling them like fabric until they form a miniature representation of Morthax's soul. Another swirling dark mass kind of trapped within a tiny orb of light. Two souls, two representations of souls as he holds in either hand. And he kind of holds it up, letting it float in front of you. There's this eerie light casting dark shadows on the walls.
But tell me, Venom,
Sorry, I was
are you sure you want to face her? To confront the monster that broke you?
There's a stillness to Vellum for a moment, and then a deep breath.
I do, but not just for closure, not just to know of the threat we face. There are things I need to know for sake of knowing. But before all of that, this is something I do not think I can ask of you. If only because I lack something of equal worth to barter with. After all, everything has a price. Am I not wrong?
You're starting to get it.
I will face her. Soon, later. I will. And regardless of how that happens, it will be done properly and done right. With the respect a soul deserves, regardless of who it belonged to.
Kind of thinks for a moment. Again, that hollow tapping of his jawbone with his bony finger.
Tell you what. You see, you want to do a service for me. Perhaps, in the end, I could be her jailer, and I'll let you have your moment while she's kept on her lock and key. Meanwhile, I'll give you Bran's sword. Let you.
His eyes flare towards Angus.
Let you be his jailer. A sword for a sword.
He'll
Sorry,
turn
just for
to
clarity, he's offering, it's basically more to thanks for Bron, is what I'm gleaning, right?
Yep. And from my understanding above board, he'll have her underneath his lock and chain, so you can ask the questions. We solved the problem. How can we safely do it? Give it to a demigod of death. So that's the option, but there's a almost like a soft-eyed look from Angus as he's saying, "This is your choice.
There's also,
I know that you want to talk to her.
there's also,
I'm not going to trade it away unless you say it."
Yep. There is. You also see, and this is where that persuasion check comes in. This kind of a insightful look from Banzala as he looks over your expression, Angus.
I see. You'll be attached to it, don't you?
I am.
I
I'm
get
attached
it.
to it because of what it means to someone else.
I get it, Angus. A sword like that, especially one as powerful as Mortitax. It's not just something you want to hand over, don't it? I respect that. But I can't just be giving away the soul abroad and the crystal tablet without getting something equally valuable in return.
And then he pauses
Hmm.
and he
Ed,
paces.
I'm going to be an honest tradesman. With the name of my Confederation of Clancraft, I cannot deceive an item's price. Mortithax's soul is worthless to me. But to those close to me, it's priceless. That's why I started all of this saying it is not mine and mine alone to give. I want nothing more than bronze. Not just to be his jailer, but to be his redeemer. If he hadn't been corrupted by the sorcerer, then Bron would never have whispered into the Cannibal King and ruined the Golden Age and caused that civil war. He has so many crimes to answer for, but he committed his crimes as a puppet. I want to show the world that it can be redeemed. But for all my kingdom don't want to forsake a friend. So it is up to Vellum to name the price. And I will accept whatever he says.
Question.
Okay.
Two things. Firstly, I would like to insight the deal he offered. It's probably fruitless, but I'm gonna fucking try. Vellum doesn't know any
Alright.
better. He's too stupid.
Gonna try and insight the god of death once more.
On a deal, yeah, that'll go well. But basically, specifically, the notion of Banzala being Mortax's jailer, whether that means she becomes his soul becomes his property by the terms of that deal. More for clarification than anything. But... Oh wow, I am rolling dog shit for insight lately. I couldn't do it in the shops, and I can't do it here. This whole city is bad for Vellum's insight.
With my 27 passive insight, can I tell that Vellum is trying to understand something?
Probably. Probably.
Vellum is like squinty-eyed, sort of trying. Like you've seen him do this sometimes when trying to size people up and glean honesty and terms. Just he's just like
With his low charisma and cutting to the chase, Angus simply asks, "Is there something on your mind, Vellum? You look unsure of this deal."
Not so much unsure. I just want to know the terms more clearly, I suppose.
Mortax will be mine. Her soul will be mine on my leash. But, there might be a way for her to retain subservience over you.
He kind of taps his chin again as he thinks. His massive form begins sort of moving with a predatory grace as he begins to think. His steps are silent.
While he's thinking, Jen, this was the second thing I was going to do. Hearing Angus's words and seeing how important this is to him, Vellum is going to, not with any sharp movements, reach into his bag of holding and pull out a box that hasn't been seen in a long time. It's the Sunburst box.
I don't know if this, being a thing of life, has a great amount of worth to you, but I know it is spiritual in nature.
And then he sort of holds the box up and opens the lid, and inside is the spirit tree seed.
This was gifted to me by one we helped in the Morbog, a dryad. I had planned to find a good place to plant it, let it bloom, and better the world for it.
His eyes flare once more, as if having just remembered something on his mind.
That reminds me, perhaps you can come to a deal where everyone be happy. How would I,
Kind of trails off for a moment. There's a... He kind of begins pacing, and as he kind of makes his way over to one side of the room, almost without missing a beat, he just casually continues his pacing up the wall. Just defying gravity as if it were just merely a suggestion.
Well, I mean, he's in the body of a monk, it's not that crazy.
The shadows seem to cling to him, kind of welcoming his presence as he kind of walks up the ceiling, upside down, his glowing eyes fixed on that box.
tell you what, I could give you another option. A task. like you said, a challenge if you will. Complete it, and maybe, just maybe, I'll give you the leash of Mortifex. And I can prompt us to speak.
It would be foolish of me not to ask what task you have in mind.
Well, let me be warning you. Won't be no easy task, no. It's gonna be something real difficult, real dangerous. Not in the business of making things easy, man. But if you're willing to take on this challenge, you'd better be prepared for whatever comes your way. And if you can't handle it, well, you can always agree to give the chain to me. So, it'd be no ordinary errand I'll be sending you on.
You watch as he almost seems to disappear into the shadows for a moment. And he then seems to just reappear right next to you, Vellum. Just arm over your shoulder, very casually.
Vellum doesn't flinch at all. He's dealt with this shit once today.
He's at medium height now, about your height.
You see, every now and then, someone make a deal with old Banzala, taking a piece of my power, my mojo, to boost themselves up. Most folks play by the rules, but every so often someone gets a bit too big for their boots, thinking they can take what's mine on a run.
As he speaks, he conjures a small kind of purple glowing orb in his hands, and it pulsates with dark energy, swirling with shadows that seem to whisper and hiss ominously.
Now, when that happens, I can't just let that slide, you see. I got a reputation to uphold.
He kind of flicks the orb into the air, and it hovers above you all, growing larger and casting an eerie, ominous light across the chamber.
You don't welch on a deal.
Aye. And when that happens, we send out my collectors. The ones to remind these debitors that there's always a price to be paid.
And with a wave of his hand, the orb kind of splits into smaller orbs, each one transforming into a shadowy, indistinct figure. And they all seem to sort of march in formation, their spectral hands reaching out as if to reclaim something unseen.
Usually we send me priests or me special agents to go collecting. Or even me loyal hounds.
And he snaps his fingers as ghostly ethereal hounds kind of emerge from the shadows, prowling around you all with their glowing, otherworldly eyes, their human skull-like visage kind of clacking their sharpened jaws.
But
I don't know why
today,
that's funny.
I'll give you a chance to earn this leash of Mortifex' soul.
And he claps his hand, the hounds dissolve into clouds of smoke which reform into a twisted, barren landscape. A vision of some sort of desolate grove dominated by an enormous dead tree.
So how about it? Become my debt collectors.
Okay, so out of character, Jenna. A couple of things. Firstly, is that a location Vellum might recognize?
This is not one you recognise, no.
Okay, so it's somewhere we haven't been, even in like region or environment. So just for sake of clarity here, because we've been bouncing around a lot of deals during this conversation, I want to make sure we're all on the same page with it. We want the tablet. Services were offered in exchange for it, and then there was also the Bron deal. But now Banzala has offered Vellum a separate deal. Is this a separate deal to the services for the tablet, or
So,
is this
For
the same?
for clarity, he was initially attracted at the idea of claiming Mortithax's soul for himself in exchange for Bron's soul. However, there was a mention that you wanted some information from Mortithax, or her soul at least, and to confront your past trauma. And since you also offered a service, and not just the soul, it seems, he's finding ways to even out this deal a bit. If you were to give him Bron's soul out of the bag, just straight up in exchange for Mortithax's soul, he would hold dominion over Mortithax's soul, and he would then allow you to speak with her. But if it seems that if you were to do this task for him, instead of him claiming ownership over the soul, he'd allow you to claim ownership of it, and he would manipulate the energies of the soul to allow you to speak with her.
See, as tempting as that is, and I know Banzala's really going for this. He's looking into Vellum and being like, okay, I know what you want. But our priority in Vellum's mind is the tablet. So I'm trying to think of, because Vellum's already stated once that he believes that there's another way to do so without needing a deal, but I don't want to repeat it and then offend him. So I just need a second because sick brain is going
Yeah,
slow.
no worries.
Okay. Let me get my coughs out and then I can fucking talk. As generous and tempting an offer as that is, we still have our goal of the tablet, and whatever we offer, regardless of my own wants and needs, I would rather any bartering power we have go towards that, and whatever we can manage for Bron. My own wants and needs are secondary, and I feel with some work and the efforts of some trusted individuals, I might be able to achieve my goal without a deal needing to be made. In all due respect, of course.
Banzala's eyes kind of narrow. The golden light, the spectral blue light, kind of flickering in the depths of his sockets as he listens.
Well, you know, you're asking quite a lot from me already. And soul, for instance, was no small bargain. And these tablets, you're only adding to it. Be a hefty deal. But
Out of character, I'm looking through my shit to see if there's anything I have. I have nothing in terms of spiritual wealth. I have material wealth, that is all I have. Someone help.
But if you're being willing to do this task for me, you think that'll even it out a bit.
Sorry,
You can
my
see
brain just thought of something.
he's sort of very casually leaning back against the large square stone brazier. His arms kind of draped over it. You can see the the tapping of his bony fingers against the stone.
So in my brain,
I feel that's a little bit of Talali sass coming through.
yeah. So here's what I'm trying to get through in my brain that I can't seem to put into words. So if I could get some help with that, that'd be great. He says this will help towards making up the bulk of that deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to offer the option of, while we are out and about, if something comes up, we're able to do for him, like a sort, not like a favor per se, because just offering favors isn't really good leverage, but just like not just the one is what I'm trying to get at, if that makes sense. It's like, hey, we'll do this for you, and if anything else comes up, we can do that to even the scales and make it fair. I'm trying to put that into words. Someone help.
So for clarity, from what you gather, if you do this task for him, then he will likely agree to this deal.
Anyone else feel that's a bit... He's been beating around the bush trying to get more and more and more, and now suddenly one favor is going to be enough for both. I would like to insight, as terrible an idea as that sounds.
Sure, make an insight check.
I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, but, you know.
Ow!
Fucking another 11! Another 11! What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Banzala's influence makes me terrible at reading people while I'm here.
You literally can't read his face, dude.
He doesn't have one.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that's what he's offering. He's offering that favor for our end of the deal, if that's what's being conveyed.
Alright, just purely out of character here. What do you think said favor is going to entail, and when said favor is going to, come to a conclusion?
He wants us to be essentially debt collectors for people welching on it, for someone welching on his deal. I don't know if it's just the one-off. I think it was just the one-off because he showed one location.
Showed a giant dead tree after you presented a dryad seed.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I'm feeling stupid about that because I'm a fucking idiot who can't remember anything. That aside, yeah, it seems like it's just like, go here, deal with somebody who is welched on a deal with me, and that's your end of it, is basically what's being surmised here.
I like how you're insight checking things that could easily just be asked.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's
You've done that a few times. Like, you're just like, hey, if we do this one thing, do you consider that part of the deal? And the deal's over? Yes. And you're just like, sweet.
I guess part of me's worried if I question it, he'll change the terms, because I think he's done it once already.
Yes. And they keep getting more favorable. Alright, fuck it. Angus will pop up. This seems like it's a very generous deal. You mentioned it's evening out some of the value, but we've gone just to do the one job, and now that's that. We get the tablet in Braun, and you may even let us keep Morthak's soul.
It does sound very generous.
What's the catch?
Oh, this just be the first one.
And there it is, the shoe drops.
And
Shoot,
how many
what?
of these tasks before the deal is fair?
2, I would say. The first one, Mikada. That'll make up the bulk of the deal. Perhaps the second one, me give you the chains.
Melm's gonna sort of give a look to everyone, get a read of the room. How's everyone
Angus-
feeling about that deal?
Angus nods. We did initially
Gareth.
offer service.
Is nodding. It seems like up your alley.
Let's get shrugs.
Liska is indifferent about putting the boot to people.
Yeah.
It will happen eventually. It is an inevitability.
Sao is looking majorly uncomfortable as is just being here, and with Banzala quite literally next to her. It's
I don't think I feel, man.
But she gives a sort of a hesitant nod. Mostly because, in the name of full honesty in her mind, he's a living, in air quotes, living god of the dead. If he would try and bullshit us, he would probably throw in some clause about our own soul.
Yeah, that's usually contract, but I feel like this is mainly verbal with spiritual solidification.
When you're dealing with God, anything can be a contract.
Yep. Well,
I'm also just gonna say, he did warn us in the beginning about all the souls and people that tried to double cross him and do shit unfair, and showed that some triumphant when they did it, and others absolutely dejected.
Yep.
When they probably got their debt claimed,
Yep.
Him personally.
I mean,
so
thankfully, we're not the kind of people who would do that sort of thing. So,
Yep.
How does Grunky feel? I know he's probably a little lost in all of this, but I want to get everyone's thoughts.
Can't say I have anything to put in.
Alrighty, Grunky seems fine with the deal. And after sort of getting a feel for the room, Velm will return his attention to Banzala.
It seems we're in agreement. The 2 collection tasks for you in exchange for what we required.
All right. We're in business.
Velm instinctively puts a hand out because that's what you do in mercantile deals.
He kind of holds out. He holds a hand for you to wait for a moment.
Not yet. Let me brief you on the details.
He seems to
God, he's targeting
reappear
me.
and re-solidify himself from the shadows, overlooking all of you. And with a clack of his staff, the shadows resonate out throughout the room.
The one you're after goes by the name of Nizara. She be hiding out in this grove.
And he kind of points towards the shadowy manifestation of the image of this dead grove.
She be deep in the eastern jungles. Found herself a burrow beneath that enormous tree.
The dead tree in the vision looms larger, its branches kind of twisting and writhing like claws of some sort of monstrous creature. The ground around it cracks open, revealing skeletal hands clawing their ways to the surface.
That tree. It was the first thing to die after she worked her magic. Used my mojo to twist the land itself. Now, everything around it be following suit.
Once more waves his hand. The vision shifts to show a group of dark figures moving with purpose throughout the grove, guarding the area with some sort of menacing energy. The forms are shrouded in shadow, giving only glimpses of weapons and armour.
But it ain't just the dead you'll have to worry about. She's drawn in some nasty folk. People who crave magic and power.
He narrows his eyes.
Here's a result from the web.
Oh no. Oh no, wait.
Banzala using theory to fucking... Okay, let me get it up on the map. See? Show them where the tree is.
That was weird timing.
That was the comic relief moment we needed.
Oh, fuck.
His
Anyway.
purple orb begins to show a GPS.
Yeah.
Oh god, that fucked me up.
Anyway, Back into the game. Back into the game.
Get the mojo back.
Get the mojo back. And his eyes, he narrows his eyes, and the vision zooms in on intricate symbols and ancient traps hidden throughout the area. Interpretations, not concrete examples.
Tears. You'll need more than strength just to get through this. You'll be needing someone who knows how to keep to the shadows, how to stay hidden.
As he says this, a shadowy figure appears in the vision, kind of slipping past the traps and enemies unseen, demonstrating the stealth required to approach the barrow, and possibly within.
One of your agents, I assume.
Not quite.
He kind of raises a hand, and his voice commanding as he calls out to the shadows above.
The proposal be accepted. You can stop creeping in the shadows now.
And from the darkness,
Is it time for another NPC?
Near the ceiling, something stirs. The shadows ripple and kind of twist as a figure drops silently, landing gracefully before you all.
Let me hover over you and see your picture, you coward.
Oh.
You see the figure.
I'm not seeing a picture.
The figure straightens, revealing a shadowy satyr, her form wrapped in a long cloak of dark, rustling leaves. Her face is hidden behind an ebonwood owl mask, an ivory owl mask, with faintly glowing eyes kind of piercing from within the shadowed slits. There's this long, sinewy bow crafted from twisted vines and ebonwood and thorns that rests in her hand. It's her presence is eerie as it is elegant. Her wiry frame and gracefully spiraling horns adding to her almost haunting appearance.
Spooky.
This be Etheria.
He announces, his tone carrying a note of respect and caution.
She made a bargain with me some days ago. You see, she got her own reasons for wanting Nazara taken down a peg or two. Maybe something she be after. Something Nazara got. That she be wanting it. But she can't take on Nazara herself. That's where you come in.
Kind of leans back on his throne.
Etheria will be working with you on this task. A skill in keeping to the shadows. Yes, Samuel.
Kind of shoos Etheria off to join the rest of the party.
So there you have it. You're all in this together now. Oh,
So it would seem.
maybe one more thing. This mojo. It's potent. Too potent for anyone of you to handle on your own without being tied to me in some way.
Give me a brief second. The shadows around Banzala's fingers start to solidify, forming tangible shapes that hover in the air before him, and then slowly they take on the form of amulets. Skulls with glowing eyes that seem to flicker with a life of their own, and the room grows colder as these shapes finish forming.
These we packed talismans.
They kind of gently float towards each of you, the skull's eyes glowing faintly, casting eerie, flickering lights across the chamber. And the shadows that once surrounded Banzala's hand kind of disperse back into the room, leaving only the cold metal of the amulets behind.
As long as you wear it, you'll be under my protection and be able to wield the mojo you'll be collecting. You'll gain a few gifts from me too, things that might come in handy out there.
The talismans kind of pulse with this dim, rhythmic glow, almost synchronized with Banzala's words. The skulls seem to stare into your souls, as if they were awaiting your acceptance.
Now don't go thinking this be something you can just toss away when you're done. You break the pact. You don't fulfill your end of the bargain. This talisman will turn to ash.
With a snap of his fingers, the spectral hands crumble into black dust, dispersing into the air.
And so will any promises I made. But if you do as I ask, you'll return with the mojo, and we can talk about the deal we made.
And all of this assistance you're giving us won't alter the deal in any way, will it?
No. Just be a way for me to collect what's owed.
And with that, Vellum will step forward to retrieve one.
As you touch the talisman, the cold metal seems to almost come to life, shivering with energy. The amulet vanishes from your hand almost in an instant and then reappears around your neck as if drawn by an invisible force. And the chain sort of slithers into place like a serpent, tightening just enough to feel secure, but not uncomfortable.
It goes underneath the Ulsham pendant. Ulsham has priority, fuckboy. I don't say that, character.
Good call.
You might feel a little something as it settles in.
It's and you do feel something. There's this cold tingling at the base of your neck where the amulet rests, and the chill sort of spreads down your spine like icy fingers tracing the vertebrae, sending a kind of shiver through your spine, as if the amulet itself is becoming part of you. And then there's this a pulse, a rhythmic, almost heartbeat-like throb that resonates from the amulet and echoes through your chest. It's not painful, but there's a strange heaviness to it. A weight that feels both physical and metaphysical, like something ancient and powerful as it has entwined itself with your soul. At least, for now. And one by one, as you all kind of accept those amulets, as they around your necks, you all feel that same experience.
I didn't want to do that.
You all hear a voice that echoes in your mind. It's soft but commanding.
You'll be bound to me now, and I to you. My power be yours to wield, for as long as this temporary pact remains.
I just heard that. It's like, okay. Bad memory. Just, okay, cool.
Velm's not going to use any of these on principle.
I mean, so you're just gonna eat when you're not hungry?
Yes. I mean, isn't that how life works anyway? You know you should eat, but you're not hungry, but you do it anyway.
Oh, I'll make you hungry.
Not even Banzala can stop my food from being delicious.
Oh, exactly, dude.
So, you have made a temporary warlock pact with Banzala. A pact of the Undying.
Well, that was
That's one of the good ones too.
honestly, it's better than any of the alternatives we could have ended up with. Like, we hold on to this for a little bit, we do the job, and then it's gone. Although this does have a deadline, apparently, according to the description. We have until the Eve of Souls to do this. Yeah, if you fail to fulfill your end of Banzala's deal by the Eve of Souls, so yeah. Did he let us know where this fucking place? Oh wait, are we following the guide?
I think it's the guide.
Yeah, I think we're just following Aetheris.
It's at that moment as you all kind of feel that cold surge through your very bones. Banzala's eyes kind of flare towards the jar.
Oh no!
Oh great!
What did you do?
Isn't that what I did?
Oh,
You got something you want to tell me, Deja?
She's looking down for a moment before looking up back at him. Look around and face him. I wanted to know if you can heal the marks on my bones. Because I've been cursed.
As he kind of listens to your request, the blue flames in his sockets kind of flicker and narrow, reflecting his growing curiosity. The room's light dims, especially the fire behind him. The shadows deepen. He doesn't speak immediately. Kind of almost deliberately letting the tension stretch out before him like a taut bowstring. And then, with a theatrical flick of his wrist, he begins to weave a divine pattern in the air, kind of tracing symbols of power that shimmer with this dark, otherworldly energy.
You brought me a real puzzle, Deja. Tell you what, let's peel back the layers, see if we're really dealing with.
Kind of leans in a bit closer.
This gonna tingle a bit.
And
we're gonna literally
incoming body horror.
And then
And
then, before you can fully grasp his meaning, there's this cold wave that washes over you, starting at your heart and then spreading outward like a frost creeping across the window pane. Your vision blurs and then sharpens. Only now, it's as though the world has been turned inside out. Your body, your scales, your skin, your flesh has just vanished, seemingly stripped away, and in its place is a perfectly intact Naga skeleton, standing in stark relief against the shadows that dance around you. The sight is both mesmerizing and horrifying. By all logic, you should be dead. Nothing more than the pile of bones. But you're not.
You're not questioning it.
You should be a little spooked. All your skin and flesh is gone.
It's like I close my eyes so I don't have to look, but I don't have eyes.
I don't have eyes anymore. Oh god, my eyelids are gone. Oh god, my eyes are gone.
You know, oddly enough,
see her face in the moment.
Oddly enough, you close your eyes, you just see darkness. You don't feel any different. You can feel your presence, your essence. You're still your breath's still rising and falling. You don't feel any different. And just like for a moment, you wonder why your friends are all looking at you in horror.
Yeah, she's.
Sarah's looking at Dishar mortified.
What? Why are you having that look on your face?
I'm gonna say like.
I'm gonna cover.
Hold on. I need to check. I need to do something because I'm trying to figure out how Liska would respond to suddenly her friend getting turned into bones.
Turned into bones. While you think, Jenner, question.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes, but even I forget about Vatmir. She followed us towards here.
Yes, she did.
She want to wait at the entrance.
She would probably want to wait at the entrance.
Okay, so good thing she isn't seeing this.
Yeah.
I'll say Liska upon Jar getting turned into bones is gonna draw her weapon and start advancing.
Hey, hold your horses. Keep it alive.
Wait.
Very much alive.
Angus holding her shin, being scooted backwards.
Me just need a little adjustment, you see. So everyone can take a look beneath the surface without disturbing the rest of you.
I'm still alive, Liska. Strangely enough.
I'll say you could hear like the metal in her gauntlets creaking, but she just stands there, just staring angrily at Banzala, like her weapon in hand. Just giving, like, he needs to roll in. He doesn't need to roll an inside check to realize she's just be like, if you fuck with her, I will kill you.
Just get ready to throw hands.
With a god.
It's all right, lass. It's all right, lass. He's patting at her calf. You remember when she put the rings on and you could see her skeletal arms? It's just magic like that to let us see. She's fine. Just deep breaths.
Dishar just gives her skeleton. Just gives away. It's like, I'm still alive.
I'm sorry, I can't take this seriously. It's just a skeletal snake just going clack, 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 clack when she talks.
You are no longer 80% ass. You now are all back.
It's a very extreme diet. I know they took the comment personally.
Yeah.
You need to go that far.
Funny though.
I'll say with like multiple sources of friends, particularly the magic folk, being like, "Hey, it's not what you think."
Hey, it's magic.
She's going to not have her weapon like ready to strike, but she'll lower it down. But she will keep her weapon in her hand.
Mm-hmm.
And she like this. I will say that she did not have her shield drawn, so she was ready to two-hand that thing.
Damn.
So.
Yeah. Banzala.
She's just watching.
Know she's pissed when she's two-handing.
You watch as Banzala's gaze meets yours, Liska, and you see one of the flickering lights of his eyes kind of briefly extinguishes and then reignites.
He's just
fucking winking at me.
She'll be all right, child.
And he kind of steps forward. His presence is commanding, the smell of grave soil and the cold of the void following in his wake. His gaze is intense and unyielding. It is fixed on your exposed bones, where you can all see deep grooves mark the bones with intricate demonic runes. And these marks almost hum in Banzala's presence, as if recognizing the authority that stands before them. He examines one of them carefully.
I see. Clever work indeed. Sloppy in places, very sloppy, but mighty clever.
So leans in closer, scrutinizing these runes now visible on your bones. The room's silent, except for the faint, almost imperceptible hum of magic surrounding you. He traces a finger near one of the runes, and you feel deathly chill as his bony finger kind of pierces through, weirdly enough, whatever skin might be there, but unseen. And a ghostly aura surrounding the finger as part of it becomes ethereal as it penetrates through the skin. He traces the line of one of the runes, kind of making it glow with his own divine magic. And his expression shifts from curiosity to a merely thoughtful demeanour. Then he finally straightens, snaps his fingers. In an instant, your scales and skin reappear. The disconcerting sight of your skeleton hidden once more. It's like the transition is so smooth, you barely register it. But the echo of what's just happened kind of lingers in your mind, as well as everyone else's.
Yeah, you don't just suddenly become bones and then be fine afterwards.
There's no power left in them runes, Tashar. Whoever marked you, drained it all out. Clean. Like taking the last drop from a cup. There's no hold left on your child. But if it still troubles you, if the memory of them scratches at your peace, I can mend them bones. Erase the runes entirely. Make it look like they never existed. Child's play. But that doesn't mean they come for free. And even a small thing got its value, you see. Question is, what you willing to offer?
Me personally, as a mage hunter, bounty hunter in fact, you need dragon who owes you a debt. Besides the one that we're on. I know there might be more than that. Be hunting some wayward priests, some fighters, some mages. Those be my prey. More knowledge. He holds up a book here that was Mortisex's. As well as some knowledge on, should not be named, things I found that were very concerning. Towers, he says. Powers of dark magic.
You're going out to solidify a deal, child. But I have to give me some more concrete information than that. What you're offering specifically. Not asking for your soul or some great sacrifice. Something small will do. Something that shows you appreciate the balance of things. A favor, a token, maybe a secret you kept close to your heart. It all depends on what you're willing to give.
The mention of a token. He goes into her bag and brings out a journal, one that's carefully taken care of but seems to have been touched by fire, burned almost. And she holds it up very tenderly. This be the last linked to my past. The only thing I have left I could say is from happier times. And bad ones.
His eyes flare. You can feel that cold piercing through your soul that you previously felt, as his eyes danced around each and every one of your party.
You see this world some worth to you, don't it?
Yes. It's the only link I have to those that passed. One that He hesitates for a moment, like the words are stuck in her throat. That I've hated.
Nice.
I see. So then, what do you think? You're offering this last hook to a previous life in exchange for peace of mind.
Yes. He says almost like trying to take off a weight off her heart.
He extends a hand.
We got a deal.
And he grasps that hand and puts the book.
You clasp each other's forearms in a gesture that feels as ancient as the power that Banzala wields. The moment your grip tightens, there's this rush of shadowy energy that travels from his arm to yours, engulfing you in a sensation that's both cold and unnerving. The book disappears from your grasp. The transformation begins immediately. Your flesh dissolves away, becoming translucent, leaving your skeleton exposed once more. But the shadows swirling around you weirdly enough, almost feel protective, like a cocoon. They wrap around your bones, thick and tangible, almost as if they feel alive, coiling and tightening as Banzala's power surges through you. There's a chill deeper than anything you've felt, seeps into your very marrow. But instead of fear, there's this sense of deathly inevitability, as though this is a necessary step to purge the marks that have haunted you. The runes on your bones start to glow, dimly at first, and then with increasing intensity. But rather than fading as before, they ignite, burning away under Banzala's touch, dissolving into nothingness as if they just never existed. And that sensation of regeneration is profound. The bone beneath the runes becomes whole, smooth, unblemished, marks erased from existence. The structure of your skeleton feels reinforced, as strong as it was before the runes marred it. And as the last of the runes vanish, Banzala releases your forearm, and that chill begins to ebb away. The shadows that had cocooned you now retreat, pulling back to the corners of the room, and with them, your flesh and scales return, reappearing as seamlessly as they had disappeared. You stand once again in your normal form, but the weight of the marks is gone, leaving you with a sense of, you feel a bit lighter, a bit freer. And he takes a step back, and once again leaning casually against the large brazier.
As promised, no more marks, no more threats. Let me fear the burden.
And he crosses a bony finger across his heart, leaving a sort of illuminated mark.
I'll be a spirit of a word.
And Angus, you can definitely feel that satisfaction in his voice.
Shark gives a bow. I am sorry for the early disrespect, Shaman King.
Kind of waves a hand dismissively.
It be in the past, child. I can be amicable when we want to be.
Spoken like a true trickster.
He smiles at this. I do have more questions, but I think that they will wait after we finish this debt collecting.
You see, still be wanting something, huh?
You know me too well.
Alright. After the debt be paid.
His eyes kind of linger across the rest of you.
You got any more questions?
Out of character, does anyone have any more matters?
I don't really have.
I believe that there was some questions people wanted to ask.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't feel like overstaying our welcome at this point.
I mean, he just asked us.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's see, didn't I write those questions down? I know I did in the chat.
I think I only had the one question. So Vellum will sort of clear his throat a little bit. That definite tenseness in his form.
Well, as long as it doesn't require a deal to ask, your dominion, souls and the like, is that limited to Tanzia, or do you ferry souls of other places to where they should be?
We're not too picky about where the soul come from. If far enough fall in my lands, then and they got be too busy or too far away to collect them, then they be mine to ferry. Death be death, no matter where it find you. But if you got a strong faith, then their God might come claim them before I do. Unless they stray too far from their path, then maybe I step in.
Sorry, I as a player am side-eyeing Dejar at the moment.
Yeah. He's too far from the path. Meanwhile, corrupted Sun Sword. Let's just not tell him about
Meanwhile, sacrilege.
that.
Oh, the casual shade from Banzala.
You see, sometimes a soul of wonders gets lost in the shuffle. And that's when I come calling. A little reminder that even the gods can't be everywhere at once.
He kind of tilts his head slightly as if considering something before flashing a sly grin.
But don't get me wrong. We don't go looking to step on anyone's toes. If a soul got a place to go, we let it be. But if the bear can't clean the system, and a soul bound to no god, or if we got a weak pull, if it finds its way into Tanzia, well, I'm not one to let an opportunity slip by.
So
To answer
I
your
understand.
question,
Go ahead.
You did, and my understanding is that this way, everyone goes where they're meant to. No one gets left behind.
sometimes even a foreign soul becomes mine, if it's fate. And sometimes if they got no strong faith in life, it's just a matter of who gets there first.
And Vellum is quiet. Did anyone else want to pick the bone man's brains?
Let's see.
There was a
Looking over the questions.
there was a question about like Tanzanian immigrants who die at sea or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I was just looking over the questions that I had. So Liska is going to be like, okay, so you collect all these souls in Tanzania, even foreigners, unless they have, unless someone else has claim to them. Yes.
As you kind of ask him this, Banzala's form almost seems to disappear into the shadows. This subtle kind of wave of his hand, there's this spectral map of Tanzia that materializes, its borders shimmering with an ethereal light. The map almost seems to stretch, expanding to show distant lands and vast oceans, all of them wreathed in the shadows that almost perpetually hang around his throne room.
Well, even when they wander far, the souls of Tanzania don't ever truly leave me.
And with a flicker of his wrist, you see these glowing threads of light that stretch from Tanzia to different lands and across the seas, representing connections between the souls and the homeland. Each thread kind of pulses with a faint rhythmic glow, kind of tethered to the heart of Tanzia, to the heart of the swamps.
They might be across the seas or in a foreign land, but they still carry a piece of me, you see.
He kind of gestures again, and the threads begin to change in thickness and intensity. Some bright and strong, while others are thinner and flicker weakly, as if struggling to maintain their connection.
The strength of a soul's connection, their faith, determines how unbreakable that thread is. The stronger the faith, the brighter the connection, the more impossible it is to sever. But a soul with no faith, well...
Banzala kind of snaps his fingers, and the weakest threads of the map snap, dissipating into the darkness, leaving the souls that were connected kind of floating aimlessly, shadowy figures. Spirits and gods of other lands begin to converge on these unclaimed souls, each vying for control.
Well, I was going to say, like, when you say that, do you mean we literally see other figures on the map interacting with those souls?
Vague shapes. These are vague shapes meant to seemingly represent other spirits, other gods, other ancestor gods, if you will, other deities from other pantheons, or nature spirits.
So Liska's gonna be like, so do you know of other death gods?
The world be a big place, plenty of room for all kind of gods. Even those who walk the same path as me.
He says, his voice coming from all directions at once. His tone is very, very casual. There is this, from your perspective, Angus, there is this underlying tension, almost a territorial pride. You watch as he kind of hefts himself up and sort of just reclines on the edge of the brazier, just kind of legs crossed, kind of looking up at the map, one hand behind his head.
Now, as for the other death gods, we each got our own way of doing things. We respect the boundaries, mostly. We don't cross each other's lines without good reason, you see. Sometimes we work together. Sometimes we stay out of each other's way. But if one of them steps in my toes, let's just say, me not above reminding them who runs things in Tanzania.
As he speaks, Banzala waves his hand, and the shadows around him begin to swirl and coalesce into a visage of a dwarf, wrapped in a dark robe. The figure is dour, hunched, and perpetually, almost exaggeratedly so, just scowling beneath his hood, almost like an amusing caricature.
Take Mortrim, for example.
Banzala says, kind of circling the shadowy form.
Always so dour, always scowling. Like he got the weight of the world on his shoulders. Yeah, maybe he do. But man, if it wouldn't hurt him to crack a smile every once in a while, eh? Life and death. It ain't all doom and gloom. He does his job well, no doubt. But me wonder if he even enjoys it.
Then with a flick of his wrist, the shadowy form of Mortrim...
I'm certain he does.
He kind of looks... He kind of reclining, he looks back towards you with a slight grin to the grinning skull. And as the visage of Mortrim dissipates into a cloud of darkness. Which
anything worth seriously enjoying is worth seriously protecting.
This man gets it, you see.
He kind of steps through the cloud of shadow that once formed Banzala. And which then sort of flickers and then suddenly remanifests at the other end of the throne room as a large form. He continues.
And then they be roving, or raven spirit, as some might call him. No, they be a tricky one. Always with their riddles, always speaking in circles.
As he speaks, the shadows behind him kind of stretch and twist into the shape of a massive raven that hovers in the middle of the chamber for all to see. Its 3 eyes gleaming with intelligence and mischief. It shifts, feathers turning into a cloak that wraps around a skeletal figure with an unsettling grin.
You ask him a straight question, he'll give you an answer that make your head spin. Now, we can appreciate a good puzzle. But sometimes you just want the truth, plain and simple. Still, he got his ways. And it worked for him. Keeps people guessing. Keeps them on their toes.
The raven figure caws once and then disintegrates into a flurry of feathers that drift to the ground before fading into nothingness.
But me, I like to keep things a bit more straightforward. Most of the time, anyway. Me got no problem with the other death gods, so long as they stay living.
I have a question for you.
The eyes shoot over towards you.
Since you both deal and keep away from all others of your shared domains, death, would you tell me if someone I know has died?
Not if they be faithful to other gods.
I see.
Guess it might be best asking them.
Yar speaks up. So, actually, how long do we have these talismans that he holds up? The one he's wearing. Like exactly?
Sorry,
What is the time limit?
I missed that.
Our character, he's asking, what is the time limit of we keep the talismans?
We need that mojo by the Evasores. Gives me that extra oomph to summon back Old Bran. And have your commune with your old dragon friend.
You see the look on her face, like doing some math and thinking, okay, got it.
Yeah, how long does that give us in terms of time?
Um,
Oh, we got a calendar here, haven't we? Let me
yes, you
find
do. As far as you recall, from I imagine what Angus detailed to you earlier, from your time, from that brief communion with Banzala in that shrine, you saw visages of the first blood moon of the year.
Okay.
Oh, Valentine's Day is next month. So is the Day of the Dragon.
So, here's my question
2
for
months
you,
away, basically.
as a player to DM. Given that I know about astrology, and y'all would take some interest in it, how would I know the exact date?
Given you're a pretty intelligent person, the first blood moon of the year typically occurs on the 1st of Mardus.
Gotcha. Okay then, we have ample enough time.
Well, it depends on how long it takes us to get there.
True. Some of us can help others lay a path throughout the jungle. Looks to Angus, a certain vehicle.
I do find it funny that we've specifically been given someone who specializes in stealth and avoidance of traps because we are the unstealthiest motherfuckers in the world.
I mean, you guys are, except for me.
Yeah, but we dragged the whole team down.
So, you got any more questions for me?
I do. If I may ask. I suppose it's a grand thing, but also a simple one. I intend to, though years down the line, these things take time, make the great undead citadel in the bog to the east a place of green and life and joy, and the natural death, only for those who linger afterwards to do so of their own volition, service and sentinels. From my understanding, similar to the one gravesite, the sanctuary you had where we first met. I hope to be a good neighbor. Moving forward, what would be a good way to start us on the right path? Between where you rule and where I.
He kind of taps his chin, kind of leans on his cane, very casually, kind of crossing his ankles.
Well, for starters, we could complete this deal.
A given.
Besides, international diplomacy. Don't be my in your house.
What did he say? International diplomacy, what, my house?
Don't be his wheelhouse.
I'm not thinking so much international diplomacy. I'm thinking more you and I like the way you do things, and I respect it. I just want to be on good terms of those of like mind and like practice. No politics, just to the point.
I've seen your life. I've seen through your soul, Angus. I know what you be about. And I respect what we see. As long as I keep to that path, I think we'll be on good terms.
Very well.
You know that,
That's all I could ask. Oh, final thing. When you work through Talali, when you're not like this, can you still hear everything she does, see everything she does?
You'll be asking a lot of questions, child.
And he taps a non-existent nose.
And then I'll cut to the point of it. Do you have plans to be present at the Spirit's Eve festival?
Wouldn't exist without me, child.
Very good, very good.
I showed you a glimpse of what I want. A feast.
And I will make sure there is a dish special for you.
That's what we like to hear, child. You got a smart brain and that bald head of yours after all.
And you feel a tap against your head.
He tilts it so it can catches the light. Shing.
A feast will be stuff
Very
Americans
good.
love. The kind of thing that will be spoken of for generations. And when they talk about it, they'll see it was Angus who made it happen. You got the right spirit, Angus. When you start your preparations, I'll be watching. And I'll be expecting nothing less than the best.
I'll bring generations with me to make it the best. Let me put my hands where my mouth is.
All right. So, you all got a job to do?
And his eyes sort of flicker towards the pillar of souls in the center of the chamber.
And I got my job.
We wouldn't want to overstay our welcome. Thank you again for your time and the fair deal we bartered today.
Indeed. You made your choice. There be no turning back. Go forth, debt collectors. And remember who holds the cards in this game. Complete your task. Either way, I'll be watching.
He waves a hand dismissively, the shadows around him swirling and thickening, as almost as if they're eager to consume those in the room.
Now take your trinkets and be gone with you. Like I say, we got a job to do.
Aye. No point in
Well,
slacking, lads.
Vellum will
We've
give
got
a head
something to
bow.
do. Go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was just gonna say Vellum gives a head bow and starts moving. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Very well then. Off we go. Oh,
With a
I said that I would.
good.
He reaches into his hat and he pulls out one of his own little handmade milk and honeyed chocolates. I hope you can taste.
We can't, but we know someone who can. My little marigold.
He says with a grin. With a final smirk of the grinning golden teeth of his skull visage, his figure vanishes in a torrent of shadows. The bright blue flares of his eyes extinguished in the darkness, leaving Talali sat on the throne, slumping slightly as she regains her composure. And Talali, you have this delicious snack in your hand.
She's going to kind of blink, like wake up, shake her head, and then like look and be like, "Oh, that's new." And she looks at the cookie or like the chocolate, like that. And then she
Ooh, I got
just
the treat
like,
this time.
and then she just fucking noms it in one. Yeah. Then she's like, "So, everybody's still here, and we even got a new one. So I take it everything went well."
I think
I
so.
did. As well as it could have gone.
Yes.
That's good. We're glad you were able to have your conversation. And she just kind of like slowly starts walking down the steps. We do want to apologize for having to keep this secret from you. Didn't quite know what kind of people you were when I first met you. And then Banzala, in his old way, decided he wanted to lay a surprise. And you know how gods be. All up in their business.
There were signs, but I didn't think it'd be to this kind of scale.
Hmm.
Makes sense for who he was in life as he is now.
You're a little quiet, Spice.
Sorry, my mic is kind of weird.
There we go.
So what'd you say?
It makes sense as who he was in life as he is now.
You knew him in life. That's a
No.
long time ago.
Yes, stories of him.
Nah, the old emperor, the shaman king, as you like to call. He was a good man. He do what he can when he could. Not his fault that certain individuals, and she just like spits on the ground, do their poison meddling, always trying to kill and corrupt precious things.
Yes.
But, and then she's going to kind of step forward. It's like, me, I'm glad that we don't have to hide it anymore, and we don't have to talk to myself off to the side. Now you can hear me talking to him.
And it's at that moment you all hear in your heads as the amulet, the talisman, kind of flickers.
And you can talk to me as well.
Oh, this.
Oh, pals, thanks.
Oh boy,
You-
two otherworldly beings in my head.
So,
Grunker's got a bad trend of having necklaces that talk to him.
You're just
Oh, that's true.
looks to Talali. So this is how it is for you, 24/7, huh?
She gives she gives like a small nod, and then you'll see her actually kind of wave her hand in front of her face, and you will see she summons, like, you normally, I mean, y'all have only seen her summon the arms of, like,
What's going on? Let me go ahead and just get rid of that so you can put it back on.
yeah. You normally see her just summon the arms of her, like the big floating astral arms. She waves her hand in front of her face, and you then see. Let me see where it is. You see a very familiar skeletal face appear in front of her. In front of her face, if the thing happens. Doesn't look like it's going to.
Oh dear.
Theater of the mind, I guess.
Yeah, theatre of the mind.
Yeah,
As it reappears, you see all the familiar shadows begin to gather around her face, and similar scale to how Banzala's been talking to many of you before. Medium size. Seems like he can change his size at will. You see that spectral visage of Banzala reappear with that.
Does it talk individually, like separate
Yes.
to her face?
Yes, it does.
Wonderful.
God, your
Come on,
amulet in
Denali,
one
we're going
ear,
to get
the
some more
face of
chocolate.
Banzala in the other.
The show just gives him a look like, okay, so now I know 2 living gods. Great.
I like to think that she's
Long
trying
time no
to
see.
eat
I got my
everyone
mojo
while
yet.
Oh.
Everyone suck it once I get here.
Yep.
And one of them is deep and rumbly.
Shall we go then?
Yes. Oh, Quasali is not gonna stop once I'm done talking with him. Oh my goodness.
Everyone needs to make sure they grab a pack talisman.
Yep.
I already got
Does
mine.
not have one.
I have one.
You can grab it off the ground.
I got one.
Who doesn't have a pack talisman?
Yep.
Grunker, do you have one?
Do I have what?
Yeah, probably.
A pact,
there we go. That's
yeah, there you go. Go ahead and grab your packed talisman.
we needed to collect the bad juju.
The juju.
The juju.
That juju.
Do we equip? I assume we gotta equip this.
I mean, it's just in your inventory. I don't think you need to equip
As
it.
you kind of touch the talisman, it too snakes around your neck.
Yeah, it equips itself.
Oh, okay. I guess it wasn't a question.
Go buy Aztec Space Marines.
Tech Space Marines.
I mean, look at them.
As
Again, the skull iconography works for both, but big chunky boy with
Yeah.
skulls in the armor.
You kind of pass by one of them. You can see the large skull head grinds, looking towards you, just following you as you make your way out.
Means par for the course. The judge just looks up at the vigilant statue. Like,
All the dope.
The large gulp. Alright, so you're all headed out?
I think so.
Yep,
Alright then.
seems so. We got
Just
no reason to be here, and also the map is
As you all
is walking, talking.
Yeah, you all head out. You approach the door. It and grinds open. You can see a couple of Banzalan priests are there, dressed in their dark robes, dark feathered headdresses. And you can see there, waiting for you, is Grandma Tuani. Oh,
ignore this.
how did it go?
You should say, for the fucking blue flames again.
No, this is unrelated. It will make itself known soon.
Jared just speaks up. It was interesting, very eventful. Talks.
He kind of looks over all of you, sees that some of you have these strange new talismans. Oh, Banzala got a job for you, don't he?
As he would put it, debt collectors. Let's see.
That was the bargain.
Well, Banzala got his own motivations. I shan't pry.
God damn it.
What time of day is it? Can we tell?
Not
underground.
under here. No, it's well, when you entered, it was nightfall.
So it's pretty late.
Man, this talisman gives a teleport? Okay.
Yep, it also gives you
Yep.
basically don't die as much, stupid. As the passive.
Yeah. I mean, that's my job.
So, as we leave the temple proper, like we're outside, Vellum is going to find the nearest sort of suitable receptacle and fucking hurl.
Did you just
Oh,
fall?
lad.
You
Oh,
okay?
fucking hell.
Pat.
Like once
Let
it's
it out.
all out of his
It's okay.
system, he sort of just almost, he doesn't fully slump to the floor, but like he leans against what I assume there's a railing of some kind with this many steps. Otherwise, Osha would have a field day.
Ugh, fucking hell. Ugh, Red Sky, that was fucking horrible. I've never worked a deal harder than that in my fucking life.
Oh, at least it's over. For now.
How the fuck am I
did a
supposed to get
great
a
job
read on?
negotiating.
Oh, you helped a lot there, Angus. Cause fuck, how the hell am I supposed to read his fucking face when he hasn't got one?
You don't.
You don't. It kind of looks at Dejar. No.
Is
the living
Vladimir
gods are divine beings.
Vladimir
so
kind of skips over. Vellum, are you okay? What happened?
I'm fine. It's just very, very tense talk, and it worked out. We're all fine. We're gonna do a job for him, and then we'll get what we need from here. But
You're doing a job for a god?
yep,
a living god.
same thing.
Not same thing.
God is a god is a god.
Why is
But
there two?
it's no horrible price to pay. Just gotta help him out with something.
What are you helping him out with?
Well, someone made a deal with him and didn't hold up their end of it, so we gotta go teach him a lesson. And by the look of it, they're doing bad things as well, so we're probably gonna stop that as well.
Who are you trying to stop?
Out of character, I forgot the name.
Right.
Go ahead.
Write the name
I'll write that name in the.
Well, I'm just terrible in memory at the moment because
The name is Nezara.
Someone called Nazara, but I doubt you know who they are. Just it's someone bad doing bad things with
Oh.
his bad magic.
I did kind of eavesdrop a bit. I heard something about a grove through the door.
Yeah,
Which is to Sylvan. Curious lot, aren't you?
It is not every day you encounter a death god.
No, it is not.
It's not every day you live through one.
We're going to have to meet him again once the deal is done.
I
A lot of
liked him.
things you give-
He seemed honest.
That's the worst. That's the worst thing, Angus. If someone's honest in a deal, then you gotta wonder why.
No, you just take it from their word. I honestly feel that if they're honest, they're honest for a good reason. Also, I felt extremely exposed.
Yeah,
I-
that didn't help.
Vladimir kind
Maybe not in looks at the little girl. Maybe not in front of Arima.
I kept it vague for a reason.
Vladimir kind of locks her eyes with this strange new person. Who is that?
Right, you. Etheria, was it?
She'll just kind of turn and look at you. Yeah, that's right. Who speaks in a flat, monotone voice.
Well, obviously we're gonna be working together. So, besides avoiding traps and laying low, what can you do?
That wasn't what I was supposed to do.
Grug has succeeded at pickpocketing.
I guess.
Hmm.
That wasn't it. I was just gonna.
Where's
look
my
at
money,
it.
Vellum?
Exactly. So weird. I guess that's a new feature.
There you go.
How'd you get up the character thing?
Oh,
for
double
a
click.
character? That's what I did. That
Oh.
happens when I double click.
Okay, that's odd.
Nice items though.
Who are you looking at?
Oh, nothing serious. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
Me,
it.
me.
Don't worry about it.
Was it 7 success? Shameful.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's not.
Yeah, I don't think that's supposed to
Not
happen.
correct.
Yeah,
I don't think that works properly. Okay, so
I'll try and make it work
wait,
properly afterwards.
Wait, hang on. So it works for everybody else, but not for her.
I
If I
can't
click
I don't know
on-
what
if
you're
I click-
talking about. You suddenly
Yeah, 'cause-
picking pockets.
Yeah, because like if I double click on like Vellum, I see like he's like Vellum Fajir, and then like his whole fucking novel
Life
of the
story.
biography.
Yeah, I see your biography as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'll sort that out after the game.
I'm tempted to do it, but I'm not. I want to invade a character's privacy for the fun. Anyway, back to the conversation.
This is me just being like, oh yeah, Liska 100% doesn't have a biography, so that's fun.
Yeah, I need to get around to fixing mine. But anyway, but yes, to put us back in the conversation where we were, Vellum asked what Etheria's specialties are, besides avoidance of traps and laying low.
Well, I'm quite good at shooting things from a distance. She kind of holds out the bow. I know a good bit of magic, tracking, survival. In my conclave, for the Teleshi were more enforcers during brutal seasons. I also mainly serve to protect the dream. And you have something quite interesting for it, don't you? And he kind of turns and looks down at little Vadima.
She kind of hides a little bit behind Vellum.
This is my daughter Vladimir.
He's sort of
I'm
like
aware.
it's a bit more of a firm tone.
Oh, don't be so scared. I'm quite friendly, really.
Well, we'll see in time.
You already have.
Yeah, just
Very well.
there's a lot of red flags.
Very well.
I want to insight you so badly, but fuck it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just
It'll
I
be
mean there
fun.
were 2 red flags right there in like the space of a fucking 3 seconds. A, I want to insight what the fuck you mean by you're aware. We just met. Oh, now I get fucking high rolls. It's like a second I'm
Yeah,
not dealing
see-
with Banzala, it's just like
You're not dealing-
laser focus into your soul.
Earlier
know
in the
where
top,
we've-
I think it was done in Sylvan instead of demonic, but you heard her reply to Liska, saying this. So it would have been in demonic during the meeting. I'll just pop that in party chat.
I know where we've seen this person before.
Ah, yes, I had a feeling.
Ooh.
Well, you clearly know more than I need to tell you. So it saves us some time on introductions.
I bet.
Well, I look forward to working with you, should things go smoothly.
I think it will. Our dead grove is about 300 miles away. To the east, the base of a forsaken mountain.
Then let's take some time to do what we need to here, and then get moving. We have a good amount of time, but not something you want to keep someone waiting on.
Very true. I would take the time here and steel yourself for travel and difficulties. My sources say it's a... Stop me if it's familiar. An ancient evil sorceress stealing away draconic powers, corrupting the order of life, and forsaking a natural order.
Sounds about right.
A lot of deja vu.
More like same old with my bounce. Great.
Well, we
You
should
got
take it
out of
seriously
the-
anyway.
You got out of the den of the last one, you'll get out of it again.
Well then,
At the mention of that, she just looks. Okay then.
Sal just sort of tilts her head ever so slightly as she looks to her with the sort of not puzzled look, but more of a aha look. So it was you I saw.
Tilts ahead. You saw me.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have been able to do that.
I've been
You
told
have
that
a sharp
before.
eye.
Well, to be fair to you, you are very hard to spot.
Hmm. That's the point.
that's why you're here, so...
I love that some of the monotone became infectious, specifically through Dejar.
I noticed that. Getting,
Venom's suspicious. Dejar is infectious.
I'm getting big Raven vibes.
There's something that, like, I remember from a film or a show that it's on the tip of my brain and it's bugging me. Yeah, well.
Right, it's probably
Well, then.
probably late. I don't fucking know. It's underground. We should get moving, get resting, and see what we can manage tomorrow.
Sounds right.
All right. So, as you make your way out of the temple, I'd say Grandma Twani kind of takes you aside for a moment. Talali. There's a big old smile on her face as she unveils this piping hot bowl of your favorite Twani's signature gumbo. Hey,
Gumbo.
you missed it up, child. Looks like that manifestation took a bit out of you.
Delali will give a smile, take the bowl, do a one-armed hug. Take it, Grandma. We gonna eat right away.
We best hand out the rest to the rest of the temple. Look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. We got some things to go over.
Of course.
And with that, you are left to your own devices.
Well, thankfully that's over, so Vellum's feeling a lot better, a lot less tense. I think he got it literally all out of his system.
Liska is going to look at Etheria. And just be like, in demonic, just to see if the monotone carries through to demonic, or if it's just like a weird trade tongue thing. I'm going to be like, so your name is, sorry, just Talali.
Your name be.
So your name be. But yeah, in demonic, it's like, so your name is Etheria, and you come from Torment. What is, like, so Etheria all what? I am Bliska all Luma.
She'll turn to you and respond to demonic. Still monotone, but when facing you, there's definitely a lot more inflection to it. Specifically while looking at you. It would be Ethereal Al Maru. I come from the Eastern Peaks. I suppose it would be Coruna Hinterlands. I believe that's what you call them.
Hold on, well, I have to check out this. I'm just gonna say she's gonna nut. For now, let's just say that's
I'll
it.
link you the page.
That's good. But yeah, she's gonna give a nod. It's like, I did not realize that there were satyrs that close in Torment, particularly to the east.
We like to hide.
It's just a small nod, like, yeah, satyr shit. Like, that's how it worked. Oh god.
Peace and quiet is a simple thing. Everyone's just like, here, have lore.
Yeah, everyone's tossing maps at me. You literally just gave me the same things that Atlas did, Jen.
I'm on it, buddy.
Man, sure, I'm glad I'm not involved with this at the moment. My brain could not comprehend maps.
Okay.
God,
Thank you for not showing me a map when Etheria said we're going this way.
So the Coruna Hinterlands, she's going to. I mean, this goes there for a while, so she would ask this. I guess technically those are east, even though they're southeast of Croft.
Yep.
So
I think she said
north-
southeast originally.
Okay. So north or south hinterlands?
You said north or south hinterlands?
There's two. There's North Karuna hinterlands and South Karuna hinterlands.
I specifically am from the north hinterlands.
Is it not? You, given the revelations, I take it you were the one that left me that leaf. And she reaches into her bag and pulls out probably a somewhat desiccated leaf.
Yeah,
that has-
it's a bit
a little
dry and
crunchy.
crumbly.
Actually, you know what? She put it in her bag of colding.
Oh, there you
It's
go.
perfectly
Yeah,
preserved.
there you go.
So yeah, so you know about the duel, and you know about Ashling's death, and I guess this is the throne. She motioned, like she hooks a thumb behind her. That you were talking about. So, what? Why did you want to talk to me?
That may be better for a more personal conversation, even as she says so in demonic.
Yeah, this whole conversation has been in demonic for context.
But
That's why I'm not leaning into Liska's accent, because she doesn't have an accent.
yeah,
It's just speaking.
but to put you at ease, I come here more as a speaker to help a speaker. It's, well, for something that goes beyond this and is more about, and she points squarely towards the center of her chest. That. She grasps the same hand and clenches a little fist. On the same side where you summoned your little bit of snow. Odric
Liska's
watches and cares. We may need your help. We may need to help you.
Liska's going to kind of reach up and take her own little amulet that she has, the one made of like this pure crystalline blue ice, and kind of stares down at it for a moment before she just kind of nods like, well, as one of Bor's chosen, I am duty bound to aid you as I can. If you
And
need
as
my
one of
protection,
Odric's,
I am one to give.
thank you. And as one of Otrig's, we come when we realize we're here to help as well. You're a chosen, but you are not alone in it. Otrig understands the value in you. You're wise. You have experience that only difficulty can bring. Something that will be very much needed in the coming times. Call us biased, but you may not be the one to claim the mantle, but we'd like for you to. It would be truly the best. Still, you have an ally for now. Make peace now.
Liska's just kind of silently nodding. When you said when Etherea's just like, you're not the only one and you might not be the one who gets the mantle, like she just kind of stares off in the middle distance, thinking about Kimia. Yeah.
Kima.
Kima, yeah.
It's like this shit again.
Yeah, it's like that
Yeah,
bitch.
yep. Yep. He's like, hey, I know about your duel. It might not just be you.
Yeah.
Let me help.
Yeah. So, but she does, like, after a silent moment of introspection and memory, gives a nod. It's like, so you are the one that will be taking us to this tree, to guide us to at least the first debt we are to collect?
Yes, that'd be correct. I'll be taking you there. I'll be helping some along the way, of course. I have my own personal invested interest there. I need something there to do something. I've been sent by my warden to fulfill a task, but to be honest, I might not be able to fulfill it alone. You, on your little mission, help serve mine. Why, Banzala and I thought this would be quite a fair proposition. Everybody gets what they want, and everybody gets a little help to do it.
Well, we are surrounded by very capable individuals. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to help.
Perfect. My services are yours. I am thrilled to be here.
Liska's going to lean in and still in demonic. And by leaning in, she's like bending in half.
Yeah.
You are tiny.
Kneeling, bending down. She is 5'2" and incredibly lithe.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's gonna kind of lean down and whispering in demonic, just be like, if you could talk to the little one, her name is Vadmia, you're probably the first Aether she's seen for a very long time.
She is very lonely, child.
Anyway,
Free-spirited, though.
very
I'd be happy
free-spirited.
to.
Thank you. I would appreciate it greatly. And then she stands back upright and continues walking.
When you say thank you, and I'd appreciate it greatly, there's an adjustment in her posture, sort of like a reserved little bit of shock before resuming.
That's fine. Liska's not perceptive or insightful.
Yep.
Her helmet makes it so she can only walk forwards. Because that's where the enemies are.
Exactly. But you know what? As a soldier, you would probably recognize that somebody that was very on guard just had a pose like they had been fainted.
Yukja.
Alright, so eventually you find your way back to the Gilded Bones Inn, finding your way to your comfortable rooms for the night stay. As you're kind of getting settled in for the night, Vodmir's going to approach you, Vellum. Can we talk for a second?
Always, buddy. What's on your mind?
It's about this task that
Banzala.
Banzala. Yeah, it's about the task that Banzala gave you. The one with what did you say her name was? Nizara. Can I pause this for a moment? I know you're probably going to say that I should stay behind, like the last time in the Morbog, when that nice warrior lady let me use the teleporter, but I don't think I want to stay behind this time.
Vellum's gonna take a knee, get down to her level, put her hand gently on her shoulder.
I know I haven't really been part of the fight, not like the rest of you at least, but I've been with you all this time.
Okay, buddy. What's this really about? You can tell me.
Her voice softens, but even with your fairly decent insights into how long you've known her, there is this hint of determination. I don't want to keep hiding. I know I'm not as strong as you or Liska or anyone else, but maybe I don't have to be. You and the others always protect me, but I want to protect something too. Besides just the egg. I want to be more than just the kid you guys have to look after. I want to help, like, for real.
He takes a moment, still looking her in the eyes.
Alright, tell you what. We have to take a trip there anyway, so let's do a test run. See how you are coming with us, and problems on the road, because there's always problems on the road. And when we get there, we'll see how it is. Because it's something a death god needed us to, well, not needed, but wanted us to handle. It might be very dangerous.
She does fidget a little, clearly nervous, but she's, especially at the words fairly dangerous, she's trying to keep her resolve. I have seen the way you all fight together. I want you to trust each other. I think I can do that too. Even if I don't fight, maybe there's something I could do to help. I don't want to just be on the sidelines anymore.
Well, you are growing up. A little quicker than I thought, but we'll talk to Liska. Make sure you're clued in on the tactics you'd need. And like I said, we'll give it a try on the road.
She gives a rapid nod, and she kind of puffs out her chest a little bit.
But this is the condition. If anything looks bad, if you get hurt too much, if numbers are against us, anything like that makes it seem like if things go wrong, you can't be safe. I want you out of harm's way. Is that understood?
Poof. Like we said before.
Poof.
I want to.
All right.
I want to start pulling my own weight. I want to be an adventurer like all of you.
Well, life is about trying everything and seeing what you like. It wouldn't be right of me to stop you from seeing what the world has to offer.
Okay.
But tonight, it is sleep time. We can talk to Liska tomorrow, and maybe you can have some time with Dajar and see what the more magical folk do to avoid trouble.
Okay. Well,
So, about this newcomer, Etheria. It's been a while since you've seen another satyr, hasn't it?
She nods silently. The last one I saw was that woman in Itzel with the dream therapy thing.
Hmm. Even then, that was a passing acquaintance. This one will be traveling with us for a while. How do you feel about them so far?
There's a long, long pregnant pause. Vladimir doesn't know. It's weird. Vladimir almost feels like she knows her. Ever since we left the South Islands Gate Wall, I've been feeling like I don't know. Like,
You're being watched.
yeah, like someone is watching over me. It's like when I went out to play or explore or be by myself at the edge of camp while on watch, I'd hear it like this soft music sometimes. Or I'd find something, a pretty flower, a pretty rock just lying near me. Like it was left there on purpose. I never saw the spirit, not really, but I know it's there, watching me. That's why I wandered away from camp when I found Daisy.
You wanted to see if you could catch them.
Uh-huh. It's also where I found this. And she holds up a very ornate-looking ivory ocarina.
This is the first time she's brought this up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see.
I'm
Vaddy, before we go on.
I'm sorry I didn't tell you.
It's okay. You're just worried. You don't want to upset me or worry me. You think I got too much going on already, but
She gives a silent nod.
it'll be okay. Anytime there is something going on, you want to share something, tell something. If something happens, we're all better for knowing. I mean, I'll never be angry with you, Vaddy. Ever. I'll be worried, I'll maybe be a little upset sometimes, but never angry.
Go ahead and make an insight check. 21. Her words are careful, deliberate, almost too neat. You can see the guilt behind her eyes. There's that flicker of something deeper that she's just revealed. More like a confession than simple innocence. It's not just the sudden realization of it's the weight of keeping this from you all this time. She's been in the time since you literally just met Etheria. She's been connecting the dots herself, but only now with recent events she's felt compelled to be honest with you. Like there's this nervousness in her posture.
Ven will sort of like gently tap her chin to sort of realign her eyes with his, and there's not a worried or a concerned expression on his face. There's just kindness and a smile.
It's okay. We all have our reasons for saying what we need to say and not saying what we don't want to say. Just you work best with what information you have. If I don't know something, and the time comes when you need my help, how can I help? And in the same way, if I don't tell you things, how can you help me when I need a helping hand?
I'll be honest, Willem, you look like you need a lot of help. I've been...
Your daughter just called you weak.
No, she's just seeing the fucking facts of the matter.
You can see her kind of reading it in your face. There has been something beneath the surface, I think. I don't know how to put it in words, but... Are you okay?
Another pause. And while he was taking a knee before, he sort of settles in a slightly shifted sit.
Well, I did say about honesty. I've been getting better, Vampire, but no, I'm not okay. It's a long road to recover from what I went through and what I've experienced and dealing with gods and dragons and everything. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but before this I was just a merchant, a smith, same kind of person adventurers would just walk past in towns. I crossed the sea to come here and try and make a better life for myself, and things have just changed so quickly. Every day is a new sight to behold or a challenge to overcome. And it's tough. It's a lot. But that's the thing about life, Fatty. It's hard. But there are moments. The smile of a friend, the dawn of a beautiful day, and having a wonderful daughter like you. Things like that make it a lot easier.
You see a smile kind of poke through her look of worry and concern.
So to answer your question, I'm not alright right now, but I will be.
Okay.
And what was that insight in relation to?
Like, you don't get to know.
Well, if it's information I can provide, then, you know.
I think that insight would have prompted a different question, but she failed.
She's trying. She's trying, bless her.
Takes after her father.
He's trying.
So you don't need to worry too much about me. Things are always hard for everyone, even if they're better at hiding it than I am.
Alright
Just gotta keep going.
then. We will both have each other to lean on.
And there's just a gentle hand on the head, and like he usually tussles her hair a bit energetically, but this time it's just a slower one.
That we do. You'll always have me, Fatty.
Big grin and a hug.
Now, about this other Satyr. Do you think she came from where you came from?
I don't think so. I think it was. I think from the coloration, I would have to say, Tilesh.
I guess that familiarity was just from the silent observer.
Perhaps.
Well,
I suppose it all makes sense now.
Well, even then, for the moment I trust them. The way we met is proof of that, but be careful. Just because they're kin doesn't always make them have your best interests. Treat them as an ally and a friend. Just keep your eyes about you, you know?
Okay.
Good. Any other secrets you want to tell me?
Nope, that's about it.
Insight.
Okay, go make an insight check.
Hey.
Ah,
Yeah, there you go.
poetic.
It was bound to fucking happen. Oh, they match as well. Look at them.
I love it.
Like father, like daughter.
Yep.
Perfect.
Both equally oblivious. Hang on, I gotta ping Kraz with this because I think they'd get a kick out of this.
Right, I know you don't need to sleep as long as I do, but we've had a hell of a day.
All right then, bedtime. And with that, she kind of
Into the ceiling.
Yep. Hangs on the nearest on the nearest banister of wood across the ceiling.
I like to feel like that they're both keeping things from each other, but too oblivious to know.
Yep. Who knows?
With that, they settle in.
All right. Is there anything else anyone wants to talk about before?
That leaps. If you got something, go for it.
I know. Atlas talked about this before, so I'm just waiting on when Angus would approach Shar.
And is this about the book?
Yeah, dual crafting.
Yep. Because we briefly touched on it before. Tonight, Angus would probably sleep, to be honest, rather than staying up the whole night. But I think come the morning, he might mention that.
Cool.
We got time here. We're not in any huge rush.
I was gonna say, who do we decide was sleeping with him?
That's what I was
I don't
gonna
think it was
ask.
ever decided. We asked Ducky, and Ducky said one of these two.
The reason I was
let's
asking
go
was
in
because... Okay, the reason I was asking was because we sit there and Liska just kind of gets ready to go to sleep, like lays down, takes her armor off, lays down, and then closes her eyes, and then, like, 30 minutes later, opens her eyes again, just like, fuck, I don't feel like I need to sleep. Because the amulets make us not need to sleep for this. And then she just kind of like sits up and then be like, fuck.
Don't need to and don't have to are very different. Don't require it, but you can still do it, I think, right?
We don't have to do it. It doesn't say we can't do it or we can't get satisfaction from it. Just that it's
Although you still require
required.
rest to reduce exhaustion and still benefit from short and long rest. So, like, you're not sleeping, but you're just sort of laying in bed all night, getting comfy.
Yeah, I think Liska instead is going to... let's see. Is Grunka gonna try to sleep, though?
What did Grunka do?
Gabble?
The bubble?
Oh, no.
What?
Is he going to sleep?
There we go.
Hey.
I'm not.
Oh, there he is.
Is Grunka gonna sleep?
Probably.
Okay. I think Liska will wait until she hears Grunka's little cute gobbo snores on his rock. And then she is going to sit up and on her side of the room, going to hold the Banzala's amulet. And because I think she's heard, it's been explained what like the Night of Souls is, right? Or what's the
Eve of Souls.
Eve of Souls.
Yeah, the Eve of Souls is, right? Because I think someone asked Talali at one point in time and she explained that, like what it is.
It's the one night a year when when Banzala opens up the planes between the other side and the material realm and allows the deceased souls of ancestors to briefly wander Tanzia for the night. Like it's
right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So since she knows about that, and there's a kind of a missed moment in the throne room, Liska is kind of off to the side in demonic. Is going to hold the amulet and just be like, Banzala, are you there?
Jen has to scramble for the voice mod.
There's a cold chill at the back of your head that kind of trickles down your spine for a moment as something makes itself known, pushes itself to the forefront.
I was wondering if, since you said that you have, you can collect souls or draw souls that are not Tansian, if they weren't claimed by another. Do you know if on this Eve of Souls, can you, if someone is not Tansian, can you pull a soul for them?
Now that would be something, wouldn't it?
There's a brief thought.
Afraid if I'd not been the one that ferried them, then it'd be out of my wheelhouse.
What if they were not claimed by another? Can you maybe check to see if there's a soul in your dominion?
You can try. What is it you're asking, child?
Do you have the soul of my brother?
On this old Frista. Wanna talk to him that one last time,
Yes.
We don't have someone of that description, but maybe I talk to some of the other gods. See if we can't pull a few strings, but like with everything, it comes with a price. What you willing to offer?
I am not like Angus or Willem. I am not one to make offers or negotiate. What might you want from me?
You can feel the flare of his eyes as he's intrigued by that notion alone.
Well, now, you'll be rather long-lived, don't ya? Modern folk live for a long time.
We do.
What say we even the scales a bit? Maybe shed off a couple of years of that life and use it to bring your brother back, at least for a little bit.
Her eyes are gonna narrow a bit at that. It's like, how many years? If he only speaks to me for a few minutes, I think a year is perhaps a bit too much to ask for.
Oh, bringing back a soul that ain't mine on the eve of souls be quite a feat. Especially if you're trying to take that soul from another god.
Borrow?
Borrow. We can negotiate a certain amount of time. Maybe from a month to a year. But you see, you want to take the deal.
How do I even know that you can do it?
Try you see me cleanse the runes from one of your friends We literally turned her inside out. And we made good deal. I mean, should you carry out this task for me, then I'll be more than welcome to renegotiate my pact with old Bran, who says I can't renegotiate some sort of deal with the other death gods.
Well, it is some time until the evil souls. I guess we will conclude our deal on that night.
Perhaps you think about it. Give it a little thought.
Before you go, does it only happen here, or is it like anywhere in Tanzania? Like, do I have to come back here in order to talk to my brother, or what?
Evil souls be happening everywhere in every one of my temples. Take down must be the most populous when it happens.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess I do not need to sleep now. Is that the amulet?
Aye, don't be part of my magic one. Part of me mojo. Keeps you up at night, keeps you awake, alert to dangers.
Well, I guess I'll just do some practicing then. She's going to kind of get out of bed and start doing some minor exercises.
The presence in the back of your mind begins to fade.
Don't close the voice mod yet, Janner. Vellum has questions now, unless somebody else wants to go. I did kind of have a whole scene there.
You do you, because I don't think I'm going to be doing this. Something along the lines of writing stuff into my book, so it won't require Jenner.
Alrighty. Just wanted to give people the opportunity to do pre-bed things before I went on with it. Yeah, Jenner, you answered that question already. Vellum asked it.
Oh, right, gotcha.
Yep. In fact, it was even confirmed through Liska's questions.
Mm-hmm.
You're good, you're fine. I just have other questions related
Sure.
to the necklace. But yeah, Vellum will sort of just like... He realizes, once just like Liska, he doesn't feel tired and all that shit. He is gonna assume it's the fucking weird Oogie amulet that made him feel tingly and cold. And then, do you need to talk verbally or in your head when you do this?
What would you like to do?
Well, he'll try and say it in his head first, but he goes,
Mm-hmm.
Banzala, I have questions.
There's a long, long pause.
Okay, so head did nothing. So he's gonna sort of quietly scoot to, I don't know if there's like a separate room or a cupboard or like a, he'll probably go outside if anything, just to not disturb Vladimir. She's probably trancing at this point. And he'll sort of say in a bit more of a hushed tone, because it is like the dead of night.
There you are.
Hmm.
I have questions about this, trinket you gave us.
As they always do. Go on. What you got?
Out of character, Jenna, are we like innately aware of what it can do when it attaches to us, or is this just something we have to ask about?
There is this vague innate sense of what it does, but it's very foggy. because you've only just got it.
Okay.
You gather those with more experienced and longer pacts with Banzala probably discover the full capabilities of what the amulets do over time.
Well, you can summarize this if you like, but Vellum is going to ask what the fuck they do.
Okay.
Because he mentioned a lot of bonuses and helpful little things. And Vellum wants to be sure of that going forward.
Alright.
Does he share that information? Again, we don't have to roleplay it out, because you'll just be reading the item at that point.
So, yeah, but basically, he's going to kind of briefly touch on in his own sort of light-hearted and kind of deviously playful way about what they're capable of. You can use well, of course they need to be drained. You can drain the mojo. There's a teleport.
Spare the dying or chill touch. You got Defy Death. I can see the blurb. I just wanted to see if he shares all the information that's in that blurb.
Pretty much.
When he gets to the part about the undying nature, the lack of requirement for food, water, or etc., Vellum will sort of take a moment of pause.
Now, I don't normally question the merit of a good deal, but is there any way to not have that one happen, at least for now? I get these will help us when we do your job for you, but food, sleep, water, it's all a part of living, and it doesn't sit right with me to not.
All things be final, child. Don't mean you can't sleep. Don't mean you can't consume water or food. Don't mean you can't have a nice meal and taste it.
Just that I don't get the physical need.
I imagine it's this time you might smell Angus cooking a small meal in his room.
I bet the innkeeper's gonna love that. Sorry.
Right, well, if it's stuck and there's no way around it, I can't really. No point in arguing about it. Alright, Banzala. Any other questions that are actually important, I'll come back to you, but the final one for my own peace of mind. You ain't watching all the time, right? The silence is worrying.
You ask for my presence.
So, if I'm just living my life, I'm not gonna have to worry about your eyes over my shoulder. You show up when I need you, is that it?
That be part of the pact.
Right, good. Let's load up my mind. Oh, that's all I needed.
I get these questions all the time, child. You're not the first one to ask.
Yeah, well, didn't want to go taking a shit with a death god over my shoulder. At that point, he just stops.
The presence retreats.
It's a fair question. You don't want to be taking a shit with a trickster god over your shoulder. But now Vellum will just sort of go back to bed and rest as best he can.
Alright. So, I guess getting as much rest as you can, at least trying to feel rejuvenated during your long rest. It's new, it's weird, not having the need to rest. But regardless, you can find some relaxation in it.
Well, the yard's gonna be up for just a tad bit. Grabbing some magic into her grimoire and doing some potions. Just to, I would guess, since she's a workaholic, it's the only way she can kind of relax.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping her hands busy. And
I find
after at least putting the Speak with Dead into her grimoire and possibly trying to make 2 health potions, he's just going to just lay in bed afterwards.
I find it funny. It's just like, hey, Deshar, you don't need to sleep. You can walk all night. Hooray! I guess you don't need coffee anymore. Oh no.
He's. I wouldn't say that he's dismissed. He's just like has its benefits. Still doesn't make me feel like how I drink coffee throughout the night. It's subpar. It's okay, but I still rather have my caffeine.
I'd rather have my bean soup. And we sleep.
Alright, so you come to some degree of restfulness the next morning? Again, it's very difficult to tell down here.
Yeah, especially since we don't feel like the natural drive to sleep, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very disorienting.
We got
We have no
sun,
circadian
no
clock.
clocks, no
Yeah, we're
sense of
fucked.
no circadian rhythm. Yeah,
Guys, I want to get outside. Can we do that?
yeah. I miss the sky. I'm a dwarf now. I get it. I feel the vibe.
Man, even the perceptive might notice the twitch of Etherea's tail now and then, also equally antsy to be out of a cave.
What's Talade's returned to the temple, isn't she, to talk with Grandmama? Alright.
Yes.
Okay.
I would think whatever morning question mark is, Char would slipped out and gone to the scroll section of the city.
Alright then. Let's see here.
To inquire about a very interesting and
Yes, a certain unique scroll that you've had.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll have Scroll of Haste?
No,
Let's go got you that.
yeah. This is already on that one.
Yeah, I know, I was referencing.
All right. So as you make your way back to the artisan's quarter, the dim flickering light of Tequani's shop, the glyphs of the ancients, you see that glass display case on the wall that has that caught your eye last time you were here, and once again it also catches your eye behind that sort of shimmering glass barrier rests an ornate scroll, the parchment rolled tightly and held in place by 2 delicate bone clasps. The scroll's case is this work of art, an elongated cylinder made of obsidian, etched with intricate glyphs that pulse with the faint otherworldly light. And you can see these delicate gold inlays that run through the carvings. That spell scroll of plane shift. Clearly no ordinary item.
nope. So you walk up to the counter. So that scroll case, the case that has that very particular scroll of interesting magic.
Ah, I see you've noticed a main little treasure on the wall too. No, that is no mere scroll. No. That is a key, a gateway to other worlds. But Not for sale, I'm afraid.
Not for sale, but what would you like in return? Be it a heal or an errand?
Yeah,
For
well,
me to get that. That's very hard to find.
well, I have my own interests in realms beyond. You're asking me something very, very difficult here. That scroll was given to me by my mentor years ago. It's been a key part of my my research ever since.
Research?
Well, admittedly, it's my research has slowed to a crawl as of late.
Research upon what?
Well, like I said, realms beyond. If you must ask, my focus is on a realm that few dare explore. It is a place known as the Nightmare, or the Savage Fen, depending on who you ask. Unfortunately, this scroll, as powerful as it is, offers little help in that regard. Need something more tangible from that realm to anchor my studies. That would be invaluable. But until I can get my hands on something physical, this scroll is a little more than a tool that I'm squeezing for every drop of insight. But with the right artifact.
Bag and pulls out that spine from Bloodhorn.
What is that?
This came
Spine
from.
got away.
No, there's one that character. There's a spine that Bloodhorn threw at me. Got lodged into me.
Never mind. I thought it was the magic one they broke off and played keep away. Excuse me, never mind.
We ran into a creature, hunted a creature, I should correct myself. It seemed not of this world, like it was savage itself. Like it was an amalgamation of 3 different creatures. And I think this may have something to help you with. I'm not entirely sure. Because it had some primal magic.
Primal magic. May I see it?
He hands it over to the shopkeeper.
He's going to kind of weave a bit of an incantation in the air, and you see the familiar shift of light in his eyes. It's something that you're familiar. You've done this plenty of times. This is an identify spell. Kind of thinks to himself as he looks it over. I'm afraid this would offer very little. Some, but very little. It looks like this wasn't of the... No, this was... Looks like it was deliberately corrupted by something or someone. Like it was originally something from the Materium, but subsequently reforged? Reforged is probably the best way I can describe it. But no, I'm afraid this will do little for my research. And I hands it back to you. See, all of my research points towards something more tangible that might help me. Something called a nightmare heart. The heart of a nightmare heart. Something. The heart of a creature from or corrupted by that realm. If I could get my hands on such a thing, it would That would unlock the final pieces of my research. But until then, this scroll is simply scraps that my research is feeding off of. I do appreciate you trying to help me, but I suddenly need something a bit more powerful.
Okay. Here has been thinking for a bit as he's been talking. A heart. Interesting.
A nightmare heart. Who the fuck's drawing smileys all over the bloody canvas?
Okay.
Probably
He's given a million smiles for this dreary place.
Yeah.
God damn it, Sable!
No.
Not on Grandma!
What have you done?
No. Denied.
I was just trying to wait until
Grandma
see how he
Glisley.
knows.
I
Go ahead, Deshaun.
be right
Sorry
back.
for
I'm
for
gonna
that.
talk to someone that has more knowledge on creature components.
Very, very well. He seems a bit taken aback that you are legitimately taking an interest in this scroll and his own research, apparently.
You come clean. I'll be honest, I have my own research dealing with far away places.
Are you a researcher into the extraplanar itself as well?
Yeah, you could say that, because I have something. I'm not gonna part with it. And she takes the crystal that she has, places 6 of them on the floor, and says the command word open as 2 large tablets appear in the middle of the circle.
What? He seems stunned and genuinely confused.
These tablets, written in giant, hold a key to the realms of fire and ice. I'm particularly interested in trying to find the other 2. I have an idea where they are. And it piqued my interest to look to other planes,
Are
if
those?
you will.
You are telling me you found plain color tablets from the Actashi Empire?
Yes, they're not for sale though.
He is immediately deflated.
These are for my own research. And I would be remiss to have these given to you, and they are not mine to keep.
Well, if that is a shame, I would more than be happy to part with this scroll for one of those.
However, I have a project. One that, if I finish my studies, I could probably part with it.
You would?
It's a project I want to have a crystalline sphere that's aligned with elemental energies, mayhaps.
Oh, I am not an enchanter.
Oh no, not enchanter. I'm just saying, if by chance I find something that's a creature heart or something that can literally take me to this savage spin, as you would put it, and make a project of that, would that help you with your research?
It would certainly help me with my research, yes.
Then I will make that a secondary priority. But I'm going to talk to my friend first. As he
Very well.
says the command word, the tablets go back into the crystal, and she gathers them up, puts them into her bag. Thank you for talking with me. It was a enlightening discussion.
Likewise, I should hope to see you again soon.
Likewise. And she leaves.
And he immediately kind of goes around the back, starts shuffling through some probably long dusted over notes. Starting to get his own research in order. Let's see here. Was there a brief thing you wanted to do with sun metal? Vellum.
Buh? No.
We are at time.
Oh yes, we are. So
We are at time.
as you begin to all kind of tend to your various tasks for the day, doing your various bits of preparation before you set off, we'll leave it there.
I was mid drawing, Jan.
Too bad.
Too bad. I'll stop recording. 3, 2, 1.